Hi, guys, and welcome to another edition of Seekers of the Supernatural. I'm your moderator, Tony Sparrow. Today, what I'm going to show you is the, believe it or not, White Lady tape of Union Cemetery. Now, the problem is this tape was done by Ed Warren back in 1990. It was done on a VHS camcorder, the old style. They just came out in the mid-'80s. The resolution, of course, is not like the stuff today. This iPhone resolution would blow that away 100 times or more. So it's not good resolution. It's never been shown to the public before for free. Ed used to show it at some presentations that he's done at colleges and things. But you could basically say a handful of people have seen it, hundreds of people maybe, that's all, a few hundred. I tried to lighten it up a little bit because it's very, very dark. So I used just whatever was in the iPhone to lighten it up as much as I could. But I think you can see it. You can see the white lady coming through the gravestones. Now, why did I even try to get the white lady? Well, that's the story with Rod Vesey, who was coming home from work late one night, and he was traveling along Route 59 when he spotted the white lady. I think I told the story before, but I'll quickly tell it again. He was driving down 59 in Easton, Connecticut, towards Monroe. As he passes the Union Cemetery on the left-hand side, he senses something in his passenger seat. So he looks over, and he sees this guy, maybe my age, in his late 60s, with a crumpled hat, and he said he had a stubble. And he looked like he was dressed from the 1940s. And Rod did one of these. He did like a double take. He looks back, and the guy's gone. All the guy was doing was staring straight ahead. So when Rod looked back at the road, though, he sees this woman dressed in white, in a white gown and a white veil, standing in the middle of the road. And he said she was about 35 yards away. He was going about 35 miles an hour. And he said he knew he had plenty of time to stop to avoid hitting her. And as he's driving towards her, about to apply the brakes, she puts her hand up in this fashion like this, as almost to say stop. And as he hit the brakes, he said, the second I hit the brakes, it's like she jumped forward, like boom, boom, and she was through the car. And he said as she went through the car, he could feel a wisp of wind on his right ear. And he knew that she had passed right through him. And he looks back at the road, and he sees only on his side of the road, he sees for about 300 feet, that side of the road is colored in a deep, like burgundy red paint, only on his side of the road. He was so upset by this, he went home and awakened his wife, Pam. She said, he told us he was crying when he was talking to her, that he was so upset emotionally. It was like he could feel the emotions of this woman. So he talked to Pam, his wife, was crying. She said, why don't you call Ed Warren first thing in the morning? He lives right here in Monroe. And she did. And then Rod went and had an interview with Ed at the house for about an hour and a half. And Ed said, this guy's credible. I got to go out and check this out. So for 7 nights, Ed went there with his little VHS recorder. Well, not little, they were big back then. In his van, he parked in the cemetery. And he had a tripod with a VHS camcorder on it. And he sat there for 7 nights in a row, he said, from about 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., the dark hours of the night. Ed calls them the psychic hours. Whenever it's dark, there's psychic hours. So he said on the 7th night, it was in September of 1990. On the 7th night, he heard, while he's sitting in the van, like a whimper of a woman. He looks up. He can see the woman. He jumps out of the van to turn his recorder on. Turns it on. He looks in the viewfinder. He doesn't see it. Remember, it's not infrared or anything. It's not a great resolution to the camcorder. And he looks back and he can see her. And he saw her come. Sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call. Came in again. Right when I'm taping, all the time, It doesn't ring all day until I start to tape. and he saw her coming through the stones, and then he saw these dark figures to her left jumping on her. And Ed said to me, he said, it looked like poodles, little poodles jumping on him. But he said he referred to them as shadow ghosts or wood ghosts. And they seemed to keep hitting her from one side and making her go towards the right instead of coming towards Ed. So she never got to Ed, she just vanished. She went to the side and disappeared. But this is the video that Ed took back in 1990, and I'm going to show it to you. I'll try to loop it if I can to make it so it shows it over and over a couple times so you can really look at it. It's best probably to look at this thing in the pitch black. Just have your phone on in the pitch black, no other ambient light around you. So I hope you enjoy it. This will be the first time it's ever been shown for free anywhere in a public forum. It's been, like I said, in colleges and things, but not for the general public to see. But I think you guys deserve it after all the viewing, all the subscribing you've done to this channel. You're really dedicated. You really want to learn. Don't know who the white lady is or what she wanted to tell Ed or tell anyone. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to put it on right now.
1760. 1760.